We have this idea that being highly intelligent is like having a golden ticket to an easy life. But what if that incredible brain power comes with its own secret baggage? In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on the surprising and often really tough reality of living with a mind that's always on.
So, is it a superpower? I mean, at first glance, you'd probably say, heck yeah, right? But as we're about to see, the real picture is, well, it's a lot more complicated. For a lot of people, this so-called gift can feel less like flying and more like carrying a huge weight on your back.
Right, so we all have this picture in our heads, don't we? The genius who just solves problems in a snap and sails through life. But the reality? For so many, it's a path filled with quiet struggles, a unique kind of emotional heaviness, and some pretty big social hurdles. Let's dig into that gap between what we assume and what it's actually like.
So where do these struggles even come from? Well, a lot of the time, it starts right up here, in your head, with a mind that's always running, a brain that just refuses to punch the clock and go home.
This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? While someone else might have a conversation and just move on, a highly active mind gets stuck on a loop. You're replaying every word, analyzing every little gesture, trying to figure out every possible meaning. It's just exhausting. It's like a mental treadmill you can't get off of.
And this whole overthinking thing, it actually has a name, analysis paralysis. It's this weird paradox where having more brain power to analyze a decision actually makes it harder to make one. You see every single angle, every potential disaster, and you end up totally frozen, unable to move forward.
And that internal pressure you put on yourself, it can morph into something really tough called maladaptive perfectionism. Now, this isn't just about wanting to do a good job. Oh no. This is the deep, nagging belief that if something isn't 100% perfect, it's a complete and total failure. And that, my friends, is a one-way ticket to burnout.
Oh, and let's talk about the boredom. The soul-crushing boredom. When your brain is wired for complex puzzles, doing simple, routine stuff can feel physically painful. And it's so important to get this. It is not laziness. It's a genuine biological need for mental stimulation that a boring task just can't provide. Okay, so all this stuff churning away in your head, it doesn't just stay there. It totally spills over into how you connect or struggle to connect with the world around you. Let's look at the social side of things, which, for many, can be a surprisingly lonely place.
And this right here is where a huge social disconnect happens. You are craving a conversation about, philosophy or psychology or some big abstract idea, but so much of the world runs on small talk. The weather, what you did last weekend. It can make you feel like you're speaking a completely different language, even when you're in a room full of people.
And then there's the pressure from everyone else. When people label you as the smart one, the expectations are just sky high. This quote captures that feeling perfectly. You make one tiny mistake, one little slip-up, and boom, you get hit with that question. I thought you were smart? Oof, that one stings.
All that pressure is basically the perfect breeding ground for imposter syndrome. It's that little voice in your head that no matter how much you accomplish, keeps whispering, you're a total fraud, and any minute now, they're all going to find out. It's this constant nagging feeling that you just got lucky.
A fundamental part of high intelligence is the drive to question things, traditions, authority, the way things have always been done. That's where innovation comes from. But it can also be incredibly isolating. In a world that often just wants you to accept the simple answer and move on, being the one who always asks, but why, can make you feel like a total outsider.
So we've got the overthinking mind and the social hurdles. But there's another layer to this, and it's a heavy one. It's the emotional weight that comes from seeing and feeling the world, well, more intensely than most people seem to.
Yeah, when your mind is that sharp, you just see things you sometimes wish you didn't. You're constantly picking up on the subtle cues, the inconsistencies, the hidden agendas. And while that can be useful, it is profoundly draining to be so aware of all the insincerity that everyone else seems to just blissfully ignore. This heightened awareness often goes hand in hand with some seriously intense empathy. It's not just that you feel sorry for someone, it's like you are feeling it with them. You see their pain, your brain kicks into high gear to understand the why behind it, and before you even realize what's happening, you've absorbed their emotional weight as if it's your own.
There's actually a term for this, emotional contagion. It's basically like catching feelings from other people, the same way you'd catch a cold. It leads to this constant battle in your own head, trying to figure out, wait,
am I actually sad right now, or did I just soak that up from the person I was talking to? Okay, so after going through all of that, the overthinking, the loneliness, the emotional weight, it's really easy to see why this gift can feel like a total curse, right? But this is where we have to shift our perspective. What if it's not a curse you have to survive, but a gift you have to learn how to wield?
And this is probably the most important takeaway of all. Having a powerful mind isn't about knowing everything, not even close. It's about seeing the world with a depth and a complexity that most people miss. And yes, seeing all those layers can be confusing and lonely, but it's also what makes your perspective so incredibly valuable.
I love this. It's such a powerful idea to hold on to. Because it's so easy to get lost in the day-to-day struggles, but you have to zoom out and remember the big picture. Your mind is not a curse. It truly is a rare gift.
So, how do you manage this gift? Well, it really seems to come down to these 3 pillars. Finding a balance between that deep, intense thinking and just being. Setting boundaries to protect your own energy. And maybe the most important one of all, finding your people, your tribe, the ones who get it and want to have those deep conversations with you.
And that brings us to the final thought we want to leave you with. Acknowledging all these struggles is step 1, but the next step is taking ownership. If you reframe this whole thing not as a burden but as a gift, then the question completely changes. It's no longer, why is this so hard? Instead, it becomes, okay, I have this gift. How am I going to learn to use it?